I addressed you already in world history. Some your faces look quite familiar, that's why. Hope you are all doing well. Right. Now coming to ancient and medieval cultural history. It is cultural. In sense, class, please understand. UPSC is not giving you questions on dynasties, wars, kings, empires. If you are getting minimum of 12, more than half, 6 to 7 questions from modern India. The remaining are divided between ancient and medieval. On an average, minimum of 3, maximum of 4 from ancient, and more or less the same number from medieval India. Minimum of 3, maximum of 4. That minimum of 3, maximum of 4 again connected to culture only, cultural history. In other words, you don't get questions on kings, wars, battles. I told you empires and dynasties. There is no point in reading all that. On my part, I will cover everything. But I am telling you people from examination point of view, be focused. It's only cultural history, that's all. Only cultural history, either for ancient or medieval. Secondly, I addressed you already in world history. Even then you see people are asking again and again. These questions are how to remember, how to remember, how to remember. We are reading, but we are not being able to remember anything. You are reading for reading's sake. You are you are not there. You are not involved there. When you find the topic really interesting, there is no question of you forgetting it. Problem, we have no interest. We are not sensitive. That is the problem. That's why UPSC is very particular to make you understand, to make you turn sensitive. What is so great about Indian culture? Every foreign country knows the greatness of India. Indians don't know. This is what is the problem. That's why cultural history is made compulsory now. When you are shouting at the height of your voice, Mera Bharat Mahan, you don't know why you are giving the slogan Mahan. पूछो वो लोगों को जो इतना आवाज उठा के ये स्लोगन देते हैं मेरा भारत महान. क्यों भारत महान? India is undoubtedly great. No country like India in the world. But for what? India, not only the world's richest economy before 1757, India even today, world's richest country when it comes to culture. The only country in the world with a great surviving civilization. No country in the world has a surviving civilization. Try to understand that. That's why Mera Bharat Mahan. Surviving civilization, Indus Valley civilization. What is that is not surviving from Indus Valley times? Tell me. Just couple of days back, I had been to my native place. We had Makara Sankranti, Kanuma. We decked our animals. Decking animals from Indus Valley times. We participated in bullfighting, cockfighting. Understand? These are from Indus Valley times. You call it Jallikattu in Tamil Nadu. We worship tree, we worship stone, we installed in our home Gobbamma, Amma. Okay. Gobbamma. We make it out of clay, terracotta figurine, clay doll. Parvati's incarnation. Understand? We worship. Understand? This we got it from Indus Valley times. Everything connected to Indus Valley. What is not connected? Tell me. You are worshipping tree. You are worshipping bull. Okay. Including the fashions you have today. Look at our girls. They are highly fashioned. Isn't it? Nothing wrong. Okay. You give lot importance for your appearance. Nothing wrong. You go to a beauty parlor. Get your hair arranged in different styles. Right? Necktie, tuck-tie, post-style, bow-style like this. You ask your beautician, where did she get these many styles of arranging hair? Ask your beautician. Indus Valley woman highly fashioned. Indus Valley woman highly fashioned, my dear. They imported lipsticks from Greece, perfumes, Egypt. Okay. We set the standards for the rest of the world, how to lead a life. That's why Mera Bharat Mahan. Okay. That culture, the great civilization I am talking about, is still surviving. Okay. That's why, fantastic question in UPSC. 15 marks in the mains. India the only country without a break with the past. Without a break with the past. Discuss. Problem, you don't understand the question first, Discussion, when you understand, you can write. The only country without a break with the past. My language, my behavior, my culture, my very being, everything connected to Indus Valley. Okay. An average Indian won't go to bed without taking bath. Isn't he? Taking bath twice a day. But of course now equations are different. One bath, 1 year, that's all. Next New Year only. That too on people's request, the fellow will take the bath. Okay. In general, okay, taking bath twice a day, disposing used water, okay, it all started from Indus Valley times. We told the world what is sanitation. Name any field, name any subject. You ask me, I will tell you. If you don't know, you ask me. Mera Bharat Mahan. We were the ones who set the standard. Maths to metaphysics, physics to philosophy. No one could match the genius of an Indian. Before 1500 BC, before the birth of Christ, 1500 years, we told the world what are ethics, values, what system of education be imparted. Don't ever say that woman was looked down upon in India. Women were given equal importance and equal status. 1500 BC, you will understand all that. Okay. That's why cultural history is very, very important. Okay. If you go to Poland, they will ask you, do you know Jan Saheb of Navnagar? If you don't know, that's a crime. Poland people, in their constitution, it's crime if you criticize Jan Saheb of Navnagar. Okay. He gave 9,000 Poles shelter in his Navnagar princely state. Okay. Jews persecuted wherever they went. It's only India who gave them shelter. That's why Israel holds us in great affection, love and esteem. We taught everything. Modi is absolutely right in some regards. Understand? Cultural history is that. Right? So what is cultural history? What is that is very important for us. Okay. Cultural history, okay, way of life. Important chapters here, okay, under cultural history of ancient India, take down. Okay. Important chapters. Important chapters in ancient India. Cultural history. Underline cultural history. What comes under cultural history? Number one, prehistoric cultures. I will explain everything. We discuss, we deal with every chapter. Just now write down prehistoric cultures. Prehistoric cultures within brackets. Stone Age cultures and Metal Age cultures. Stone Age cultures and Metal Age cultures. Brackets close. Next, second important chapter, Indus Valley Civilization, IVC. Mark it, very, very important. Indus Valley Civilization, very, very important topic. Very, very important both for prelims and mains. Both for prelims and in the mains you have cultural history. There also it is very important. Okay. Already I told you twice you got questions in the mains on Indus Valley. For 15 marks, 12 marks they are giving questions. In the prelims generally you will not have question paper without Indus Valley Civilization. At least one question. Somewhere or the other they will give you an Indus Valley Society. Then in the topic Indus Valley, what exactly is important again? Note down there within brackets, Indus Valley sites, SIT, Indus Valley towns, Indus Valley sites, comma, location, where these sites are located, location and the findings. Finding, what do you see in each site? Findings, brackets close. These three important for prelims. Indus Valley sites, locations and findings. Next, for the mains, society, Indus Valley society, religion, Indus Valley religion, comma, art forms, Indus Valley art, A-R-T, art form, F-O-R-M, forms, comma, decline, downfall of IVC. Decline, D-E-C-L-I-N-E, decline and continuity of IVC, how still it is continued, continuity of IVC, brackets close. These chapters are very important for mains GS, cultural history. Right. Next chapter. Next important chapter, Vedic civilization. Vedic, VEDIC, Vedas, Vedic civilization. You know, after the downfall of IVC, we had a different civilization altogether, entirely different. It is still enigmatic how Indus Valley declined or how Indus Valley continued afterwards, and how a new civilization called Vedic civilization appeared. Highly controversial. Okay, when I go to these chapters, I will make you understand the controversies and all that. But definitely a different civilization. There you see, for the first time, 4 Vedas, Rig, Sam, Yajur, Atharvana Vedas, 4 Vedangas, 4 Upavedas, 6 Vedangas, Brahmana, Aranya, Upanishads. Okay. Entire Vedic literature. Very, very important. It does not mean you have to read 4 Vedas, Vedangas and all that. You will become mad. Understand? You will end up in an asylum if you read all that. You will not go for civils. Purpose is to understand the essence of the Vedic literature. Essence. What is the lesson behind Vedic literature? They ask such important questions like which Upanishad discusses the problem of death. What is death? Father, tell me what is death? Father telling his son, okay, Nachaketa, my dear Nachaketa, death is something enigmatic. I don't know. You go to Yama, Lord of Death. Talk to Yama. Come back to me. Tell me what Yama tells you. This is how the Kathopanishad starts. I am talking about this great literature of 1500 BC. Okay. India, the first country to discuss the questions of relevance, importance. What is life? What is death? What is universe around you? What are you? Aham Brahmosmi. Mahopanishad says, I am not a Hindu. There is no word called Hindu in Vedas. I am universal. Whole world is my family. Satyameva Jayate. Okay. Can you find ideas like this in any literature in the world? That's why India great. Something special about our soil India. That's what Max Muller admitted. Vedas born in India, not anywhere else in the world. This India is different. Understand? So for you, from the examination point of view, my dear, Vedic literature is very important. Write down there. Under Vedic civilization, okay, within brackets, Vedic literature important. Vedic literature. Most important part, Vedic literature. Brackets close. Next chapter. 6th century BC before Christ. 6th century BC, reformist movements. Reformist movements such as 6th century BC, reformist movements such as Buddhism, comma, Jainism, comma, Brahmanism, right? Under Brahmanism, within brackets, Shiva, Shaivism, worshipping Shiva. Shaivism, Shivism, Shaivism, and Shaivism, comma, Vaishnavism, worshipping Vishnu Bhagavan, Vaishnavism, and Shakti, Shaktism. S-H-A-K-T-I. S-H-A-K-T-I-S-M. Shaktism. Brackets close. You know you have Buddhism, Buddha Bhagwan. Understand? Can you show me one question paper without this? In UPSC, okay, Buddhism, Jainism, Brahmanism, okay, very, very, very important. Both for prelims and mains. Mark this chapter, very, very, very important. Both for prelims and mains. You will not have a UPSC question paper without referring to generally Buddhism, Jainism, Brahmanism. And that too questions highly difficult. Okay. That's why I am telling you, don't completely depend upon coaching center material. Okay. Everywhere this is the complaint. Okay. Sir, whatever that you teach, we follow. We'll go to the exam. But you end up as a disappointed soul. Okay. There is possibility for questions to come from what we teach. Possibility. But don't entirely depend upon that. Why? Because UPSC wants you to apply yourself and answer the question. Okay. Did you see answer for the question why Krishna Bhagavan had blown flute? That is a question in UPSC. Why Krishna Bhagavan had blown flute? Okay. Why the Buddha touched the earth? Okay. Bhumi sparsya mudra. Mudra means sign. Why Buddha Bhagavan touched the earth? Okay. That is a question. Where do you see this Bhumi sparsya mudra in the form of a wonderful painting? UPSC question. When Siddhartha, Buddha's actual name, sat for severe meditation for 48 days, 49th day Vaishakha Shuddha Purnima, full moon day, he got enlightenment. Buddha got enlightenment. What the wisdom he had been searching for, finally he realized it. He had a doubt whether he really got enlightenment or not. He had not opened his eyes. He closed his eyes, shouted, "Anybody witnessing for my enlightenment? Or is it that I am feeling that I am enlightened?" Then Prithvi shouted back. Prithvi means earth. She shouted back, "My dear Siddhartha, you got enlightenment. I am witness for that. You are Tadagata, the one who realized supreme knowledge. You are the Buddha who got Bodhi, supreme knowledge." Then he opened his eyes. When he opened his eyes, he had seen a demon, Mura, disguised into the form of a beautiful dancer, dancing before him, trying to seduce him. Understand? What is the point of dancing before Buddha? The one who got supreme knowledge. Smiling at her, he touches the earth. "Mura, there is no point dancing before me. Don't try to seduce me. I got supreme knowledge." Evidence? Evidence? Earth. That's why he touches the earth, looking at Mura. Fantastic painting. Lovely painting. You see it in Ajanta caves. My dear, I am telling you again, India, the country with world's oldest surviving painting. Oldest surviving paintings. Understand? Last month, a couple of weeks back, I had been to Karle, Maharashtra, near Pune. Understand? I climbed the hill. People told me, "अरे यार बुड्ढे है तो है." मैं बुड्ढे नहीं है. Are you understanding? Yeah. Huh? My sons complained, no, look at the height of the hill. Can you? Yes, definitely. When I could conquer the eastern part of Himachal, you understand, Kangra Fort, it's very difficult to climb. What this? This is not something difficult for us. Topmost portion of the hill you have the Buddhist chaityas, fantastic chaityas. Okay. If you go to Ajanta, you have wonderful painting there, 28 caves. World's oldest surviving paintings in the world. There, one of the paintings, Buddha touching the earth, Bhumi Sparsya. That is the greatness of India. Understand? When I go to Ajanta Ellora cave art, I'll tell you, beyond the imagination, how they developed such wonderful painting 2000 years before. Colors not faded away even today. Okay. That's why India great. Where do you see this painting? Ajanta caves. Okay. I was telling today's morning class also. Okay, don't die before seeing Ajanta. Take at least loan and go. You understand? When you die without seeing Ajanta, your soul will not excuse you. Idiot, what for you have come into this world? Got the point? There's no point in going around the world. Go around India first. Got the point? As Karjan very often used to say, India, university, where no one can get graduated in lifetime. This life is not enough for you to understand. India. Okay, top to bottom, Himalayas to Kanyakumari. From Arunachal to Gujarat. Okay. So culture, glory of India. Buddhism, very, very, very important for us. Okay. What actually of Buddhism important again? Take a note. Most important within Buddhism, Buddhist philosophy. Buddhist philosophy, Buddhist art, architecture, very, very important. Buddhist art, architecture, literature, and painting. Next, different forms of Buddhism. Expansion, different forms of Buddhism, expansion of Buddhism. Expansion and the downfall of Buddhism. How Buddhism declined. These are very, very important areas in the topic Buddhism. Similarly, Jainism, take down. Jain philosophy. Very important. Jain philosophy. Cultural contribution of Jainism. Cultural contribution of Jainism, within brackets, Jain architecture, sculpture, and literature. Brackets close. Right. These are very, very important areas. Right. Shaivism, Vaishnavism, nothing so important as, specifically to mention. Concepts, they are important. Fine. Next, after this chapter, you have Mauryas coming to power. Right. I already told you, political history is not at all important, my dear. For us, Samrat Ashok is very important. He went for Kalinga War, this, that and all that. UPSC will not give questions on that. What we think important is not important for UPSC. For UPSC, finally, what is the legacy of Ashok? That is important. History of history, finally what remained, that is important for UPSC. Samrat Ashok, the greatest king in the history of mankind, immortalized himself with brilliant ideas, refined thinking. Where do you see his ideas and thinking process? In the Ashokan inscriptions. Understand? Samrat Ashok installed the most beautiful stone pillars. So beautiful you can't turn your eyes off when you look at Ashokan pillar. What is so beautiful? Smooth railing. You understand? Finishing touch. How he could get that effect, finishing touch for a sandstone, hard material. It looks very delicate. Finishing touch. All Mauryan art forms are known for that smooth polish characteristic feature. So Ashokan pillars. Similarly, for the first time you see cave temple architecture developing. Cave temples, yes my dear. Either the lower portion of the hill or mid portion of the hill, look at this. Lower portion of the hill or mid portion of the hill, you cut it. Hew the rock boulder and convert it into a temple. Imagine what engineering perfection, engineering skill required here, industry involved here. Again I am telling you, Ellora Kailasnath temple. Entire temple, one monolithic rock, massive temple. One rock, no brick at all. These are all called engineering marvels. These techniques started first with Mauryas. Mauryan sculpture, fantastic sculpture. That's why time and again I say, no country can match India. Do you have this type of cultural development elsewhere in the world? Nowhere. We are discussing culture glory before Christ was born. Okay, take down. Next important topic. Okay, Mauryan art forms. Mauryan art form, F-O-R-M. Art forms, underline art forms, semicolon number 1. Ashokan inscriptions, very, very important. Samrat Ashok inscriptions. Ashokan, yes, okay. Ashokan inscriptions. You are getting questions, very important. Ashokan inscriptions. Number 2. Ashokan pillars, stamba, pillars. Ashokan pillars. Number 3, Mauryan sculpture. Number 4, Mauryan cave temple architecture. Mauryan cave, C-A-V-E, cave. Mauryan cave temple. Cave temple architecture. Next, Mauryan pottery, pot making. Right. These are all Mauryan art forms. Right? Under Mauryas, you notice I did not mention Chandragupta Maurya, Bindusara, Ashoka going for Kalinga war, nonsense. You not get you sensible for a historian, for UPSC, not important. What is important for UPSC is this. Because they make India culturally rich India. Right. Next topic. Tamil poetry. Tamil, T-A-M-I-L, language Tamil, T-A-M-I-L. You know Tamil Nadu is the state, right? Fine. Your knowledge about South India is very poor, that's why I am telling you. Okay, right. Tamil, you don't read at all South Indian history. Okay, my problem starts when I go to ancient India's South dynasties. Okay. You are not aware of these Chera Chola Pandya's great contribution of the South. Okay. No one teaches also. We study everything of your ancient, medieval and modern. Your sultans, your dynasties are, but you don't read our Chola Charukya Pandyas, Yadavahanas and all. Okay. Deep set prejudices are there, accept it. Anyway, that's a different area. Right. Tamil, Tamil poetry, Tamil literature of Sangam age. Sangam, S-A-N-G-A-M. You want me to repeat again? Better I write. Tamil literature. Sangam age, 2nd century BC to 2nd century AD. Second century BC to 2nd century AD. Great Tamil literature. Just as we have in North India the great Sanskrit tradition, literary tradition. In the South, Tamilians also developed a very great literary tradition. Understand? For the Shiva devotees, Om Namah Shivaya, Panchakshari mantra. This Panchakshari mantra not found in Ramayana or Mahabharata, my dear. Not Bhagavad. Panchakshari mantra, Om Namah Shivaya. This is mentioned for the first time in the great epic of Tamilians, Silapadigaram. Are you understanding? Masters, classics in Tamil. Okay. Tirukkural by Tiruvalluvar, the great saint Tiruvalluvar. Kural is full of ethics and values. That's why you call Kural Bible of Tamil literature. Fantastic kavyas. No one could match the genius of a Tamil poet, I'm telling you. Okay. That literature is important for us. First question in UPSC when pattern changed was on this. In the mains gender studies, how to reconstruct the history of deep South India on the basis of Tamil literature. On the basis of literature, reconstruct the history. That is the question. So this particular literature is very, very important. Mark it important. Tamil literature. I will discuss all this when I get into the subject. Next important chapter, Gupta Golden Age. Golden Age under the Guptas or Gupta Golden Age. Okay. What do you mean by golden age? Listen. Someone was telling the other day, golden age means gold coins were minted. Gold. That's why it is golden age. Ridiculous answer. Gold coins, you have gold coins, so it's golden age. Golden age because remarkable progress you achieved. A progress of that type never before, never after in India. What all so great I am talking about, Indian culture, it had seen its highest stage under the Guptas. Okay. Not only language, literature, art, architecture, music, painting. You see sciences, mathematics, astronomy, medicine. Understand? A progress of that type, never before and never after. Okay. That's why golden age. When you go to the history of the Guptas, my dear, you have Samudra, Samudragupta, Chandragupta, Chandragupta 1, Samudra, after Samudra you have Chandragupta 2, okay. Then you have Khatodgajagupta, okay. Great Guptas. But UPSC will not give questions on them. Got the point? UPSC had given a question on a drama, Mrityakatikam, written by Mrityakatikam, written by Shudraka, drama Shudraka. This drama is important for UPSC, not the Samudra. Samudra, the only Indian king who entered the nook and corner of India. No one entered into the northeastern states, my dear. Only Samudra. Okay. He conquered almost the entire India. Okay. He did not go to Punjab, Rajasthan, Sindh part deliberately. It's part of strategy. Okay. This is called Ranatantra, war strategy. How you have to go for war? You should not go on killing everyone. Idiotic. You must strike terror. Terrorize some, threaten some, and kill some outrightly. Okay. The treatment shall vary from person to person. Okay. Samudra, brilliant Samudra. Okay. Rana Shastra, he made war a science. Rana Shastra. But UPSC had not given any question on Samudra. He defeated 18 kings of Madhya Bharat, 9 kings of Aryavarta, 12 kings of South India, okay. Nepala, Kotura, Kamarupa, Assam, all paid their allegiance to Samudra. But question on drama, not Samudra. Nityakatikam by Shudraka. If time permits, all of you, you must see this movie. Okay. Utsav. 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 Kindly see this movie. I want your feedback, my dear. Okay, lovely movie. Very well directed by Girish Kannad. Girish, the great Kannada actor cum director. He directed it. Utsav is nothing but Nityakatikam, drama written by Shudraka. It is the story of a prostitute, Vasantasena. This prostitute Vasantasena falls in love with a Brahmin, Charudat. Charudat reciprocated her love. Love between a prostitute and a Brahmin. Finally, what happened? This prostitute not allowed to remain with Charudat. Gupta's society, very cruel society. Kula dharma, caste dharmas were there. Kula means caste. Under caste dharmas, prostitute, she should entertain everyone. She should not remain loyal to one. not allowed to lead a decent life of her own choice. She was forced to go back to prostitution. Look at this. Charudat punished. You Brahmin fellow, you had fallen in love with a prostitute. Okay. Question, is this golden age? Got the point? What is golden about golden age? Okay. Prostitution reigning supreme there. Okay. It had become like an industry there under Guptas. Women exploited sexually. You know Kama Sutras of Vatsayana? You know everything. You don't die of, innocent face. You know. As if you have not heard of these things you are looking. Vatsayana wrote Kama Sutras. Right? What is really interesting is, Vatsayana, a bachelor Vatsayana. This bachelor writing on Kama Sutras. He comes under Gupta age. When you see this movie, you come across this character Vatsayana there. Amjad Khan portrayed the character. I very strongly recommend this movie for you. It's a treat. Okay, lovely movie. Okay. That drama of Shudraka Mrichakatikam is important for UPSC because it is reflecting Gupta society, not Gupta empire. Understand? So you are understanding now what is important for UPSC. Okay, cultural history is important for UPSC. Right. Take a note. Gupta Golden Age. Okay. Within brackets, it refers to, did I tell you? It refers to, Golden Age refers to the remarkable progress India achieved. The remarkable progress India achieved in art, architecture, literature, painting, sciences, and metallurgy, brackets close. This particular part is very, very important, I am telling you. Next important chapter, cultural development. Again, cultural development. Cultural development under Harshavardhana, Harsha, H-A-R-S-H-A, under Harshavardhana, the last great king of ancient India. Next chapter, cultural contribution, very, very important. Cultural contribution of Pallavas, P-A-L-L-A-V-S, cultural contribution of Pallavas and Western Chalukyas, Pallavas and Western Chalukyas. Culture contribution of Pallavas and Western Chalukyas for art, architecture, literature, painting, and cave temple architecture, CAV, cave temple architecture. Full stop. This is up to ancient India, important chapters. Okay. Sometimes you are getting questions on revenue terms, revenue systems developed, administrative systems developed, science, technology, trade and commerce developed in ancient times. Okay. Questions, if they are asked on these particular areas, it's getting really difficult. Even history optional students, they are finding it difficult to answer these questions. There's a question, Arghabata. Okay. Entire ancient India, my dear, remember, it is Sanskritized. What's Sanskrit? You require some little bit of understanding. If you could draw the meaning of the word, apply your reason, then you can arrive at the right answer. Arghya. Arghya means lifting water, offering water. Right. When you get up early in the morning, 4:30, let us say, we go for Gayatri. I offer water to Surya Bhagavan. Then I see early rays of Surya. Argha, Arghavata. What is Arghavata? That is the question. Arghavata means lift irrigation, lifting the water, okay, for irrigation purpose. Okay. So there's possibility of you getting questions on this area also. They are giving. Kindly note down that. Other important area, other important chapter, development of trade, commerce, agriculture, and technology in ancient India. Full stop. Revenue, REVENUE, revenue and administrative systems developed. Revenue and administrative systems developed in ancient India. Right. Put a full stop there. These are the important areas. 99.99% examiner will not go beyond this framework. Right. Okay. Then I have given you direction. Okay, it's up to you now to what extent you can go. I am telling you these are the areas. Okay, this is the essence. From tomorrow you don't require me, I am telling you. If you have little bit of confidence in you on how you can prepare on your own, then you can make notes on your own, prepare on your own. This is important for ancient India. Right, now listen. When it comes to medieval India, listen. Medieval India starts from 700 to 1757. 700 to 1757, the entire whole gambit of history, you call it medieval. This is again divided into two parts. early medieval, 700 to 1200, until Islam established Sultanate Empire, 1200. That is called early medieval. Later medieval, from 1200 to 1757, Battle of Plassey. You call it as later medieval. So there are two stages, early medieval and later medieval. Here you have Cholas, Rashtrakutas, Delhi Sultans, Iltutmish, Balban, Alauddin Khilji, Muhammad bin Tughlaq, Firoz Shah Tughlaq. But show me one question on these people. Not a single question. Got the point? Very, very rare. Similarly, if you go to later medieval India, Mughals, great Mughals, Babur, Humayun, Akbar, Jahangir, Shah Jahan, Aurangzeb. Any question on there? नहीं होता. Questions given on Akbar, but connected to culture again. Ibadat Khana, built by Akbar for religious discourses. Culture, part of culture, Akbar's religious policy. Similarly, South Indian dynasties, Vijayanagar Empire, great Vijayanagar Empire. There again you are getting questions on cultural contribution of Vijayanagar rulers. Direct question in your general studies mains. Show me answer for these questions in any materials you are reading. Cultural history means everyone says Singhania, Singhania, Singhania. सही भाई, मगर सिंगानिया तो आंसर देना है ना. देख लो वो आंसर है उधर. UPSC's formula is set the question in such way that these boys won't get answer anywhere. Their policy is that. That's why people are complaining. Sir, I paid 2 lakhs, I paid 3 lakhs, not even 2 questions. Each question at least 1 lakh rupees worth. ऐसा नहीं होता है. You will not get a question. मेरा बात सुनो. Fundamental question now arising in the mind, then why to join coaching? Okay. I will take you to that extent where you can arrive at the right answer. I may not give you a guarantee on exact question what is going to come. Sometimes it may click, sometimes it may not click. But definitely you will be in a position to answer it, somehow or the other. For that, coaching is important. Got the point? If no one is in a position to answer, the question as good as it is not given. Some in a position to answer, you are not able to answer, then it is a problem. Okay. Point I am trying to tell you people, time and again I told you also last time when I addressed you, don't totally depend upon any coaching center, any material. You have to apply yourself. Think yourself. Unfortunately, you are not thinking. You are expected to have your own approach, your own analytical power. Get the point? Then only you can be in a position to answer. They are given a question. See the question they are given. Imagine Chola temple architecture. Imagine. Reflect on Chola society and economy on the basis of temple architecture. What will you write? अरे UPSC मैंने तो चौड़ा टेम्पल कभी नहीं देखा है, ऐसा क्वेश्चन देते हैं क्या, ऐसा नहीं देना, लिखते हैं क्या, बोलो. Imagine Chola temple architecture. Close your eyes. Imagine Chola temples. Then, on the basis of that Chola temple architecture, write a note on Chola society, economy. Finished. This question when it figured, that particular year I have seen, because our boys, only one boy answered this question. The way he answered, I can't answer. Okay. Fantastic answer he had developed. Okay. That's why I am telling you, develop your own way of looking at things. Think about it. Reading is not important. Thinking is important. Okay. Tomorrow I will make you understand the question they are given. Early man, Paleolithic man had drawn wonderful paintings. In what way these paintings influence modern art? Where would you find answer for this? जाओ सिंगानिया को देखो. सिंगानिया भाई बोलो आंसर क्या है? दिखता है आंसर there? Okay. You have to think, you have to frame the answer. Okay. Medieval India, again it is cultural history only. Then what is cultural history of medieval India? Islam entered India. Ancient India completely Hindu. Medieval India, Islam entered. I am not, falling into the trap of colonial historians. I am telling you, Islam entered India. Great Islam. Okay. Islam never preaches hatred, I am telling you, please. A true Muslim, never accepts the untoward tendencies developing in Islam today. Okay. Everywhere you are told clash between Hinduism, Islam, Hinduism, Islam. ऐसा नहीं है. Islam admired Hinduism. Hinduism accepted Islam. Hinduism accepted everything, everyone. That is the greatness and the strength of Hinduism. Okay. Islam influenced by Vedanta. My dear, for Vedas, Rik, Sam, Yajur, Atharvana Veda, the last portion is Upanishads. For every Veda, you will have Upanishads. That's why Upanishads are called Vedant, Ant. Ant means end. Which part of Vedic literature is called Vedant? Upanishads. Upanishads declare God, Niramaya, Nirguna, Nirakar. Essence of Hinduism is that. Paramatma, Supreme Being. God has no form, no quality, no guna. Niramaya, Nirguna, Nirakar. And Islam starts with that. You go to mosque. Do you have idol in mosque there? So nahi hota. When Hinduism's ultimate stage is Niramaya, Nirguna, Nirakar God, Islam starts with that, and where is clash here? That's why Dhara, son of Shah Jahan, very often used to say, for Dhara, who translated Upanishads into Persian, he used to wear dollar. On one side you have holy Quranic verses, on the other side Vishnu Bhagavan. Abdur Rahim Khan, devout Vaishnavite. Okay. Did any Mughal emperor go to Makkah? Nahi hai. Completely identified with India. Right. So the point here is, interaction started between Islam and Hinduism. This interaction is what is called Great Indo-Islamic culture. Indo-Islamic culture. Islam influenced by Vedanta and Sangeet. Every religion emphasized only on prayer, not Sangeet. But Muslims realize, the rich Sangeet tradition, music tradition, why not we accept? Music is divine. When you are totally immersed in devotional music, you can experience the presence of God. Okay. You must have seen Jodha Akbar. Akbar going into trance. Okay. Aja mere khaja. Fantastic narrative. Right. That's why you see Muslims introduced some instruments. Hindus accepted them. Hindu music tradition accepted by Muslims. I had a very poor opinion about Muslims in music. When I read and reread, then I have to change my opinion. Fantastic contribution made by Islam for great Hindustani music tradition. Right. So you see the impact of Islam on religion. Bhakti movement developed. Sufi movement entered India. Great Sufis, universal in their outlook. My dear, you have Nizamuddin Dargah, Hazrat Nizamuddin, okay. Khwaja Moinuddin Chishti's Dargah. Don't you see Hindus going there? Okay. I go to Dargah. Okay. In Hyderabad, we have the Dargah of Baba Kamaruddin Khwaja Chishti. Okay. The peace I get there, I don't get anywhere. Understand? Finally, where you are getting the peace, divine peace. That is very important. So Islam, influencing Indian society with the great Sufi movement. You have Moinuddin Chishti, okay, Qutubuddin Bakhtiyar Khaki, Hazrat Nizamuddin, Sheikh Chirag Chishti, Baba Fariduddin for Shakarganj. You are getting questions on them. Then in Bhakti movement you have great Adi Shankara. No one could match the genius of Shankara. Adi Shankaracharya. Shankara, Ramanuja, Nimbaraka, Madhva, Vallabha, Ramanand, Mirabai, okay, Kabir Das, Malak Das, Chindi Das, Guru Nanak, Surdas, Sundar Das, Tulsi Das, okay, Shankar Dev. Very, very important reformers. Both for prelims and mains. Then you have classical dances developed. 7 classical dances recognized by Sangeet Natak Academy. Okay. Kuchipudi, Kathakali, Bharatanatyam. Oldest classical dance, Bharatanatyam. Bhava, Raga, Tala, Bharata. Bharatamuni's Natya Shastra, the basis for Bharatanatyam. Bhava, the emotion, inner feeling. Raga, tune. I narrate it in the form of a tune. That goes along with supportive instruments. Tala. Then you see the expression, effective expression. That's why it is called Bharatanatyam. Bharata. Bhavaraga Tala. Classical dances developed in India. Painting developed in India. Great Ajanta painting tradition ended. But Muslims, great efforts made by Muslims. They developed their own painting tradition in medieval times. Languages developed. You see, couple of years back, this year also you got question. Development of local languages. Very important. Local languages. Awadhi, Sauraseni, Kannarasi, Bengali, Assami, Telugu, Tamil, Kannada, Malayalam, Kodaba, Tulu, Karivoli, Marathi. How these local languages developed? Part of Indo-Islamic culture. So Indo-Islamic culture is very, very important, my dear. Both for prelims and mains. Take a note. Medieval India, important chapters. Cultural history. It's again cultural history. Under cultural history, number 1, cultural contribution made by Cholas, and Rashtrakutas, Rashtra, R-A-S-T-R-A, Kutas, K-U-T-A-S, Cholas and Rashtrakutas. You want me to write it? Rashtrakuta, R-A-S-T-R-A, K-U-T-A-S. That is chapter number 1. Next, number 2, Indo-Islamic culture. The most important chapter, Indo-Islamic culture. Underline that. Under Indo-Islamic culture, number 1, Bhakti movement, B-H-A-K-T-I. B-H-A-K-T-I, Bhakti movement, devotional movement. Bhakti movement, number 1. Number 2, Sufi movement, S-U-F-I. Number 3, Indo-Islamic architecture. Number 4, music, Sangeet, music within brackets, Hindustani and Carnatic. Hindustani and Carnatic. Carnatic spelling C-A-R, C-A-R-N-A-T-I-C. Not Karnataka. K-A-R-N-A-T-I-C, nahi hai. C-A-R-N-A-T-I-C. Carnatic. Music, Hindustani and Carnatic. Karna means ear. So soothing to the ears, you call it Carnatic. At the point. So Hindustani and Carnatic, brackets close. Next, classical dances. Classical dances. Next, painting, development of painting. Development of painting. Next, development of local languages. Development of local languages and literature. And literature. Fine. All these areas very, very, very important. Mark them very, very important. All these topics very important. Next topic, cultural contribution. Again, cultural contribution of Vijayanagar Empire. Vijayanagar, Nagar, N-A-G-R, Vijayanagar Empire, E-M-P-I-R-E, full stop. Right. I have not mentioned anywhere sultans, Mughal emperors and all that, right? I mentioned only about cultural history. Okay. You are getting questions on Akbar, Alauddin, Muhammad bin Tughlaq when it is connected to culture, not otherwise. I mean, you don't get questions on wars, imperialist expansion, You understand? And all that. Political history is not important for us. Okay. This apart, okay, better you add also one more topic. Take down. Development of trade commerce. Development of trade, commerce, agriculture, science and technology. You remember this mains you got a question? Last mains you got a question on science and technology. Yeah, under the sultans. Development of science and technology. Okay. In medieval India. This chapter is equally important. Add one more. Administrative systems. Administrative systems and revenue systems. Developed in India. Developed in medieval India. Right? In medieval India, you have different administrative systems. Ikta system, Nayaka system, Bara Balutadar system, Ayagar system, Mansabdari system. Okay. These systems are equally important. You are getting questions on them. Right. That's enough on medieval. Okay. I told you, generally examiner won't go beyond this framework. So, in your own capacity, in your own way, you develop your own notes or material on these areas. Okay. Prepare on your own. Okay. I have given you the gist. You don't require me actually. Fine. What is important for you from UPSC's point of view, I have given you. You can do it on your own. Right. Next question is what textbooks to be referred. Okay. I don't recommend too many textbooks. There's no point. Okay. Read less. Read much less. Think more. That is what is the secret. No point in reading everything you come across, finally ending up as a confused soul. The problem with you people, you are reading too much. Too much in such a way that you don't know where to begin and where to end. Finally you are all becoming Muhammad bin Tughlaqs. Understand? Problem with Tughlaq is also that, you know. Highly enlightened Sultan, Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Too well read. So well read that he didn't know where to begin and where to end. Okay. So there's no point in reading too much. I will give you the list of the chapters to be read in the NCERTs also. I'll post you people. What are important chapters? Don't read the entire textbook from page 1 to the last page. It doesn't make any sense. I have listed down the chapters. I will give you the chapters. You read the textbooks accordingly. Now, take down the important chapters. Important textbooks. Textbooks. Number 1, NCERT, Ancient India. NCERT, Ancient India by R.S. Sharma. For class 11, intermediate. Underline the title Ancient India by R.S. Sharma, Ram Sharan Sharma, for class 11, intermediate, junior intermediate, 11. Number 1. Number 2, Medieval India. Second NCERT, Medieval India by Satish Chandra. for class 11. Next, for cultural history, an introduction to Indian art. Lovely textbook, this one. You have wonderful color photos. At least for color photos sake, buy this. Very well. Fantastic photographs, color photos. An introduction to Indian art, volume 1. There are 2 volumes. Volume 1 by NCERT. Next, Indian culture. Title, Indian culture, by CCRT, Council for Cultural Research and Training. Indian culture by CCRT. CCRT. CCRT means Council for Cultural Research and Training. Well composed. It's written very well, this material. Okay. Then Vision IAS material is equally good, I have seen. Okay. That apart, I'll also give you what that I prepared. Okay. I prepared the material, the essence of all this. So if you read that, then you don't have to read all other things. Are you clear? So you leave it to me the headache of going through all the textbooks. It is my headache to read. Your headache is to sit in the class, listen, right? Understand, and get a good command over the subject. That is your headache. Okay. So I don't want to bother you with too many textbooks. Okay. That is our problem, not your problem. Got the point? Read only this. And you still say, Sir, Singhania, go to Singhania. Okay. Singhania is good for facts. I am not denying that. He has given wonderful, narrative. Facts are very good there. Concept is not there. That's the only complaint I am making. Concept is more so important. Okay. So if time permits, go through Singhania, Nitin Singhania, Indian culture. There is no point going beyond this. Right? I have prescribed you the areas also. When it comes to your problems, what I noticed, your problem number 1, how to remember. I already told you, don't try to remember anything. If you try to remember anything, you don't remember anything. Okay. Try to understand, that's all. Practically impossible to remember whatever that we read. It is not simply English. Ancient India, completely Sanskritized. Medieval India, Persian terminology. Okay. So it's difficult to remember, accept it. Try to understand the concept. I know little bit about what is Tamil literature and its essence. If you say a particular term, Padanekkil Kanakkalu, I may not pronounce it exactly the same, I may not recollect it exactly the same. But the moment I see it in the exam, paper, test paper, then I can figure out, yes, I had come across Padanekkil Kanakkalu. Tolka PM, yes, I had seen Tolka PM. It is connected something with Tamil literature. Okay. Try to figure out what is what. Come to that stage at least. Okay. Be happy that UPSC is giving you multiple choice questions, not fill in the blanks. Fill in the blanks means you are finished. Do you understand? Answer is there only in between ABCD only. No. Okay. So you can figure out, this is something connected to cultural history of Tamilians or comes under Persian culture or Vedic related. Not difficult. Patala, there's a question. Aksha Patala, Patta. Patta is a revenue document. Patala connected with revenue administration. There is answer is there. Register of records. Aksha Patala. So apply reason, you will arrive at the answer. Come to that stage. Okay. Practically impossible. Don't ever try to do that. Don't get disheartened. Don't get disappointed and frustrated. Sir, I am not able to remember, not able to remember, not able to remember. Okay. Second important thing, don't also get disappointed by your score, your performance in the exams held in the institute. I am not able to answer any question. You feel disappointed, you get disappointed, you feel frustrated when you are not able to answer UPSC questions, not model test paper answers. These people are setting the question papers in such way you cannot answer. Okay. The more the paper set tough, okay, the word is spreading, the standard is very high. Your standard nahi hai. Understand? In UPSC, when UPSC sets the question paper, there are questions below average can answer. Questions average can answer. Questions above average can answer. Question only exceptionally good student can answer. That's how it should be. Unfortunately, our coaching centers are not following this logic of UPSC. Okay. Whoever that sets the paper, let him answer the question paper. Answer. They can't get even 10. Okay. Exhibiting proficiency, this is not the right way. Don't get disappointed. What I am telling you, please go through past question papers. Past question papers of UPSC. Okay? If you are not able to perform it well, then there is reason for you to feel bad. Not about the exams what that is being held by the coaching centers. I very strongly want you to go through the past question papers. Reasons, number one, you will understand what actually UPSC expects. I told you, you will not get questions on wars, years. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Sir, you said you will not get question on wars, years. Dekho, a question aaya. Understand? You will understand. Questions are totally related to culture. So cultural history is very important. For you to get the pulse of UPSC, you must go through the past question papers, number one. Next, number two, I want you to do that exercise. I am very particular from your side to you to do that, is because there is every possibility of same question being repeated again. If not same question, they may twist it. You observe it on your own. Every 4 years, 5th year, you see some question, same question given would be repeated. It means UPSC does have a question bank. They are rotating the questions. Are you understanding, my dear? There are so many instances where verbatim, same question being asked after every 4 years. You just observe these things. That's why I sincerely recommend you people, go through past question papers. Clear? Right. This is all that I wanted to discuss with you people before entering into the topic, subject. Okay. Otherwise, you will end up as confused souls. First you should know what to read, what not to read. When you know what to read, you know what not to read. Got the point? There is no point in reading everything. Terrible waste of our time. When you are not getting questions, what is the point? Coaching is different. Academic exercise is different. Right. As I told you, I will give you important chapters in NCERTs. Got the point? Fine. Now we close all this. Listen. We are entering into the subject. Okay. When I am addressing you, I told you, don't write anything. Just listen. You want break? Go for your break. I will resume the class after 15 minutes. Right. When we are entering into the main area of our subject, ancient medieval history, the first topic for us is, as expected, the foundations of Indian culture and civilization. Foundations. Where exactly you have the beginnings of Indian culture and civilization. For that, first you have to understand what is meant by culture and what is meant by civilization. Culture means what? There are different ways of looking at culture. You have in sociology, in anthropology, different ways of interpreting it. Subject history has a different connotation, different meaning regarding culture. Then what is culture? Come to history. Culture is a way of life. Very simple way to put it. It's a way of life. What is culture? Way of life. The way you lead your life is your culture. The way you conduct yourself is your culture. Here in this way of life, you have your language, customs, traditions, likes, dislikes, hobbies, passions. Understand? You have a behavioral pattern. Everything is part of culture. Culture finally is way of life. Understand? This differs from person to person. There is nothing called good culture and bad culture. You are more organized. For you, you are more organized. Okay. For me, I am not so organized, but I want to lead a life like that only. There is nothing called good and bad culture. Some people have very well organized life, they lead. Some they don't like to lead an organized life. They lead the way that they want to, that's all. You can't say that it is bad. Some get up at 4:30, 5 in the morning, good. Some won't get up even 12 in the afternoon. It's their culture. Okay. Some speak very decent language. Some very vulgar language they speak. Okay. He might be good at heart, but language might be harsh. There's nothing called good and bad. Leave it. Okay. Culture is way of life, that's it. Then what is civilization? Civilization is the highest stage of the development of a culture. When you are into culture, you have a cultural system. In the process, you see, of development, you reach a very high stage of development. Then it is called civilization. Every society, like individual, would have its own culture. Individual and society are inseparable. That each one is, part of the other. Okay. Society also develops and reaches a high stage of development. That stage of development society had seen is called civilization. What is civilization? Highest stage of the development of culture is civilization. Okay. Then the fundamental question here is, how do you know that a particular society is civilized or not? What is the criterion? On what basis you say a society is civilized or not? In history, for us the criterion is technology. Show me your technology. I will tell you whether you are civilized or not. The more sophisticated technology you are using, advanced technology you are using, you are civilized, undoubtedly. Backward technology, rudimentary technology, we don't call you uncivilized. Rather, you are not so civilized. Are you understanding? So what decides whether a particular society is civilized or not? It is technology that decides. I will give you an example. Americans had no history. My dear, American history started with the 1774 War of Independence. If you go to America, they will show you, look at this building, George Washington building, monument for us. Are a building of 18th century? Building of 18th century, you call it a monument? You Americans? Come to India. Come to India. I will show you 4,000-year-old building. Point here is, India culturally very rich India, technologically backward India. So India is not called civilized India. In your archaeology, when I go to ancient India, next chapters, Indus Valley civilization and all that, we have radiocarbon dating method, C14 test. C14, you are still in C14 only. You have not gone to C12, advanced. That is not there in India. Technologically we lag behind. Culturally we are very rich. Americans culturally very backward, but technologically advanced. That's why you call America civilized America. India, culturally great India. So difference is that civilization, when a society receives or reaches the highest stage of development, and that is by technology. The more sophisticated technology you use, the more civilized you are. Put a full stop. Civilization goes with technology. Having defined so, this is culture, that is civilization. Then answer the question, basic question. Where exactly culture started? Tell me, where exactly culture started? Culture is way of life. Way of life of not animals. Way of life of human being. Then where exactly human being had come from? The day when human being appeared on this earth, that is the beginning point of the story of mankind. What is history? My dear, history is the story of mankind. Got the point? Some of you may be feminists. अरे mankind, womankind नहीं है, womankind भी है. सुनो मेरा बात. For that matter, history is, realistically speaking, objectively speaking, history is the story of womankind, not mankind. Unfortunately, the word is used that way. Understand? Until quite recently, there is no word called batter. Batter is a wrong expression. Batsman, that's all. Then women cricket gained momentum. You can't call a woman batsman, right? So, batter. That is a wrong expression. Just like tourister. Tourister is wrong. Tourist, that's all. These expressions are not accepted, my dear. It has become popular, that's all. अरे बैटर क्या है भाई? बैटर नहीं है वो word. Okay. So here, history is a story of mankind. Where actually mankind started. That is the beginning point of culture. If you ask a historian, sir, where actually culture started? He cannot give you answer. We have to take the help of geologists, anthropologists, archaeologists to give a definite answer. Geologists tell us that Earth age-wise 400 million years. What is the age of the Earth? 400 million years. Earth was covered with ice up to 5 lakh years BC. In your geography you are told ice ages. Pleistocene, first ice age. No scope for life to develop because Earth was covered with ice sheets. Life evolved out of water. Water is the source of life. 80% of our body is water. Understand? When water is drained, you are dehydrated. You cannot live. That's why when we are sending our Chandrayaan, Mangalyaan, the first command we are giving to the satellite, see whether there is availability of water. If water is there, there is scope for life there. Life evolved out of water. In your biology you are told, amoeba, protozoa, they all came out of water only. Gases formed out of water, oxygen and all that. Earth started absorbing heat from sun. This is called insulation process. Ice got melted, water formed. This process of ice getting melted is still going on. In your Arctic and Antarctic zone you have only ice. Sun rays fall straight on equator. Right? Slant on polar zone. Point here is, this ice got melted, water formed. First stage, Pleistocene, first ice age. You call it Pleistocene. Second ice age, Holocene. It is still going on, Holocene. It was during this age, Holocene, around 340,000 years BC, before Christ. 340,000 years BC, before Christ. Okay. The beginnings of mankind started. The progenitor of entire mankind, understand, hominid. Okay. You see, my dear, every religion tells you, God created man, God created man. Evidence nahi hai. But you have evidence to say, man created God. Got the point? Charles Darwin okay, with his theory on origin of the species, proved scientifically that man evolved out of apes. Are you understanding? We are like other animals. Because of evolution, gradual social evolution, physiological changes, we had become human beings. Sir, you mean to say I have come from ape? Not only you, everyone, you and I. We all had come from apes. Any doubt? Observe your face for a while in mirror. Just observe your face for a while. You will get convinced, yes. Darwin right. Okay. Ear formation, nozzle index, finger formation. These are just the same like that of chimpanzee in the zoo. Go to zoo and see the chimpanzee. Chimpanzee's haircut, very well neatly organized haircut. The way it sits and it conducts itself and its finger formation, they come very close to us. We evolved out of apes. Got the point? In the human evolution, first it all started in Africa, dark continent. Around 340,000 years BC, the progenitor of mankind, entire mankind, hominid. It started with hominid, a type of ape, hominid. First hominid was born at Ethiopia, otherwise called Abyssinia, around 340,000 years BC. This hominid, okay, horizontal, spinal cord horizontal, not vertical. If it is vertical, Homo sapien. Horizontal, crawling with four limbs. Crawling with four limbs, hominid. In anthropology, you call it as Australopithecus. Australopithecus. Scientific name we had given, Lucy. Lucy, the first and the earliest hominid. Understand? Born on this earth. 340,000 years BC, whole earth was one single unit, my dear. Continents not yet formed. In your geography you are told, continental drift theory, continents not formed yet. You recollect the map? Africa very closely connected with India, vice versa. Migrations started. Due to that migration process, branch of hominids entered into India. Any evidence? Yes. In history, for everything, evidence is very important. Skeletons of the hominid entered into India and found in Shivalik mountains. You call that hominid the earliest hominid found in India, Ramapithecus. In China, you have the branch of hominids. That branch of hominid found in China, Sinanthropus. You know, my dear, Sino is the other name for China. Sinanthropus. So, by 340,000 years BC, you have branch of hominids spread. They are the progenitors of our mankind. Understand? Question in UPSC. See the questions in UPSC. Okay. Of the three hominids, which was the most intelligent? Australopithecus, huge body, body-wise very big, but brain not developed. Sinanthropus, medium height, but its skull part well expanded. Sinanthropus, the first to discover how to make fire. Fire. Understand? So definitely Sinanthropus. most intelligent of the three hominids. Man was interacting very dynamically with nature. What is the story of mankind? Story of mankind means man's ups and downs. We continue to fight with the nature. We are still fighting against corona. Got the point? We will overcome. Okay. Story of mankind means man's failures, man's achievements, constant struggle with the nature. Got the point? Here, in the first stage, man was definitely struggling with the nature. Understand? Chinese hominid, Sinanthropus, most intelligent, dynamically interacting with the nature. So when hominids were born, that marked the beginnings of our story of mankind, 340,000 years BC. In the evolution of the story culture, cultural evolution, first stage you call it as Paleolithic age. Paleo means old. Lith, stone, old stone age. Why you call old stone age? Where actually it all started from? 5 lakh years BC to 50,000 years BC. This is relative chronology, not absolute chronology. In archaeology, you cannot say exactly this is the year this started. ऐसा नहीं होता. Approximately from 5 lakh years BC to 50,000 years BC, you have old stone age. Okay. Why are you using the word Paleolithic or old stone age? In archaeology, the practice is we name the age after the type of stone used. We name the age after the type of metal used or after what that is largely circulated. Today you say age of computers because our society completely depended upon computers. Age of computers. Okay. Similarly, early man depended upon stone. Okay. That's why you call it as Stone Age. Using the stone, because stone is seen everywhere, you know. Using the stone, he is making tools. Tools for his survival. What type of tools? Hand axe. Hand axe. Hand axe. Stone hand axe. For digging. What for? Roots. You mean early man was vegetarian, eating roots? Yes, my dear. Vegetarianism natural. Non-veg unnatural. Are you understanding? क्यों ऐसा बोला है भाई? चिकन तो खाते हैं हमारे दिन खाओ. But to begin with, man was veg only. How do you say you were there to see whether he was veg or non? Simple logic again. Anthropological studies, your finger formation not meant for tearing the meat. It is not meant for tearing the meat. It is meant for plucking the fruits, roots and leaves for eating. Look at chimpanzees. Are they veg or non-veg? They are veg only. Apes are veg. Okay. To begin with, man was veg because he had after all come from apes. So this hand axe man manufactured meant for digging the roots, for chopping and cutting. Understand? Hand axe, very important stone tool, manufactured during Paleolithic age, Old Stone Age. Question in UPSC, what type of stone they use? Okay. There are different types of stones. Paleolithic man depended more on quartz, Q-U-A-R-T-Z. Quartz is a type of stone. He used extensively quartz for making hand axes, borers, pointers, flakes, for everything. And stone used, the type of stone quartz. That's why Paleolithic culture is called otherwise quartzite culture. Why you call it quartzite culture? Because tools made of quartz. That's why quartzite culture. Okay. In Paleolithic age, now let me come to this, complete this. When he used the stone tools, hand axe, where do you see the first hand axe in India? In India, first hand axe of the Paleolithic times found at a place called Pallavaram. Okay. Pallavaram near Chennai, erstwhile Madras or Chennai. In archaeology, another practice is, wherever you see one object found for the first time, you give the name of that after the place where it is found for the first time. First hand axe found near Madras. That's why entire hand axe industry, we call it as Madrasian industry. Why you call it Madrasian? Because it's found near Madras. Madras means Chennai. That's why entire industry is named after Madras or Chennai. What is really interesting here is all the hand axes in India, stone hand axes found in India, they are strikingly similar. Astonishing. Hand axes we find in Chennai, hand axes we find in Bhimbetka, Adamghar, Hoshangabad, Son Valley, Belan Valley, Paleolithic sites. All these hand axes are of similar size. They look alike. Are you understanding? Which means Paleolithic cultures definitely had interaction with each other. They had dynamic contacts with each other. Surprising? For instance, my cell phone is of measurements 9 into 4 inches, let us say. Everywhere I see cell phone 9 into 4 inches means all the cell phones must have been manufactured at one point. It goes without saying, Okay. So Paleolithic man using hand axes, and hand axes found in India strikingly similar, suggesting wide range of contacts between different cultures of the Paleolithic age. Clear? This is all the life in the first stage. Class, remember, within Paleolithic age, we have 3 stages: lower, middle, upper. In the lower Paleolithic age, first stage, you see only hominids. Middle Paleolithic age, you see Homo erectus, slightly erected, in sense head could be raised. He is not able to stand up. He could raise his head. Earlier he could not raise his head, bowing down the head. Now in the second stage, he could raise his head, slightly stand up. He could raise his head and stand up, but not perfectly. That stage is called Homo erectus. Homo erectus stage. This happened in the middle Paleolithic age, second stage. Third stage is called Upper Paleolithic, final stage. By the time Upper Paleolithic age appeared, Homo erectus, it had become Homo sapien with vertical spinal cord. We are all Homo sapiens, means we all have vertical spinal cord. This was made possible only for human beings. Why? Because we constantly fought with the nature. Unless you fight with the nature, you cannot develop. Are you understanding? When a newly born baby is born, you tie her hands. No development. She will die like that. Movement, you understand? Moving these hands by gesticulations, legs, hands, she develops. Or he develops. Okay. So this physiological development makes Paleolithic age divided into three stages: lower, middle, upper. Lower hominid, middle Homo erectus, upper Homo sapien. Homo sapiens means hominids with human beings with vertical spinal cord. There's a question in UPSC. Homo erectus appeared. Homo sapiens appeared. They appeared in which age? Upper Paleolithic age. Third stage, final stage. In between lower and upper Paleolithic age, a transition period, I told you, middle Paleolithic age. Homo erectus. In India, for a long time, until quite recently, okay, we had no evidence for Homo erectus. No evidence for Homo erectus. We know Homo erectus must have been, but no evidence. In 1981, evidence came for us. Okay. Evidence came for us from Madhya Pradesh, near Hoshangabad. Okay. Hatnora. There is a place called Hatnora. Hatnora evidence. There you have found skeletons of Homo erectus. Understand? So, beginnings of Paleolithic age started in India. Take a note. Take a note. Culture, give the heading. Foundations of Indian culture and civilization. Foundations of Indian culture and civilization. Underline the topic. Culture may be defined as a way of life civilization, way of life, full stop. Civilization is the highest stage of the development. Is the highest stage of the development of a culture. Full stop. It is technology that decides whether a culture is civilized or not. Underline technology. Whether a culture civilized or not. Full stop. The age of the earth, next paragraph. The age of the earth is 400 million years. Full stop. In the first ice age, 400 million years. Full stop. In the first ice age, called Pleistocene, Earth was covered by ice sheets. Earth was covered by ice sheets. Full stop. The second ice age is called Holocene. Which is still going on. The ongoing geological phases. Geological phase is called Holocene, which is still going on. Okay. Ice got melted. And water formed. Full stop. Life evolved out of water. Full stop. Next paragraph. Around 340,000 years BC, the beginnings of mankind started. 340,000 years BC, before Christ, the beginnings of mankind started. Beginnings of mankind started with earliest homonid, Homonid, earliest homonid was born in Ethiopia or Abyssinia. Ethiopia or Abyssinia. Ethiopia or Abyssinia in Africa. Full stop. In anthropology, the earliest homonid was called Australopithecus. Full stop. Branches of homonids. Migrated to different parts of the world. migrated to different parts of the world. Full stop. In India, the hominid found was the first hominid. The first hominid found was Ramapithecus. First hominid found was Ramapithecus. Full stop. Its skeletons, Ramapithecus skeletons, its skeletons were found in Shivalik mountains. In Shivalik, in the Shivalik region, Shivalik mountains. Full stop. Next. In China, the hominid found was Sinanthropus. Full stop. Of the three, Australopithecus, Ramapithecus and Sinanthropus, of the three, it was the most intelligent. It means Sinanthropus. Of the three, it was the most intelligent and was the first to discover Sinanthropus was the first to discover fire, F-I-R-E, fire. Full stop. Now give the subheading Paleolithic Age, Old Stone Age, Paleolithic Age or Old Stone Age. Paleo, P-A-L-E-O, lithic age, Paleolithic Age or Old Stone Age. Within brackets, 5 lakh years to roughly 5 lakh years to 50,000 BC. These are all relative chronology, roughly 50,000 BC. Brackets close. It was divided into Paleolithic Age divided into 3 substages, 3 subperiods or substages called lower, middle and upper. Called lower Paleolithic Age, middle and upper. As per physiological changes, body changes, physiological, P-H-Y-S-I-O-L-O-G-I-C-L, physiological changes, as per physiological changes taking place and the type of tools they were using and the type of stone tools man was using. Full stop. The lower Paleolithic age was called Age of Hominids. Middle Paleolithic age, Middle Paleolithic age called Age of Homo erectus. Middle Paleolithic age called Age of Homo erectus, E-R-E-C-T-U-S. And Upper Paleolithic age called Age of Homo sapiens. Underline this, my dear. Homo sapiens, very important. You got a question on this. Homo sapiens appeared in which age? Upper Paleolithic age. Full stop. Next paragraph. In India for a long time, next paragraph, in India for a long time, no evidence was found for Homo erectus. Homo erectus, full stop. However, in 1981, at a place called Hathnora, H-A-T-H-N-O-R-A, Hathnora, near Hoshangabad, Madhya Pradesh, MP, at a place called Hathnora, near Hoshangabad, MP. Okay. The skeletons of Homo erectus found. Skeletons of Homo erectus found, within brackets, Hathnora evidence, mark it important. That is called Hathnora evidence. Next paragraph. Paleolithic people used tools made of stones, T-O-O-L-S, tools made of stones, particularly using quartz. Full stop. As most of the tools were made of quartz, most of these stone tools were made of quartz, Paleolithic culture otherwise called quartzite culture. Paleolithic culture, otherwise called quartzite culture. Underline quartzite culture. Full stop. Next paragraph. Most important of the stone tools most important of the stone tools was hand axe. Hand axe. Stone hand axe. Hand axe. Full stop. The earliest stone hand axe, of Paleolithic age was found near Pallavaram, was found at Pallavaram near Madras, within brackets, Chennai. Near Madras, within brackets, Chennai. As such, entire hand axe industry in India was called Madrasian. Underline Madrasian. Madrasian hand axe industry. Madrasian, full stop. The hand axes of Paleolithic times, we are discussing Paleolithic age. Hand axes of Paleolithic times are strikingly similar, are very much similar, are strikingly similar, establishing the fact that they had mutual contacts. Paleolithic cultures had mutual contacts. Full stop. I shall put a full stop here for today. The remaining part I will discuss tomorrow. My sincere suggestion to you people, read what all I dictate before going to bed. Otherwise, you just forget.